at first I was not really interested in doing Exodus 90. I thought that I didn't have any attachments in life, Dave. And so I wasn't really thinking I needed it. However, because other group of men decided to do it and they asked me to be a part of it, I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way before I did it. I felt like, my spiritual life things are going fine. I had a routine of prayer. I fasted on, like a relative occasion, about once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty good about sticking to that and felt like, I was doing all the things that I needed to do as a husband and a father to be a good husband and a father.
Right, but what actually shocked me was the amount of attachments that I actually did have in my life. Even when it got to day 40, day 50, I was like, okay, I'm still doing pretty good. And then like day 55 came, day 60 came, and and you realize, oh, maybe I do have this attachment to eating between meals. Maybe I do have this sweet tooth I wasn't aware of. Maybe I, did really want to have that beer at the end of the night.
Right. Yeah. At the beginning, you start off strong. I remember my first Exodus, the first couple days were tough, not eating between meals, but then you kind of get used to it. A week or two in, you're thinking, all right, I got this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but then you get towards the end, day 60, day 70,
mm-hmm.
and man, that's when you realize,
right.
I have a long way to go.
Right, and that's really the importance of doing it with other really good men. Right,
Yeah.
that's the importance of the fraternity aspect of Exodus 90, to hold yourself accountable, to not let yourself cheat, because other men are doing it with you.
Right, yeah, if it's just you, then,
you can kind of...
come on.
Right, yeah, so one of the things, though, I really loved about Exodus 90, that I didn't realize that I would love as much as I did,
mm-hmm.
was the silent prayer. I had a routine, like you, I had a routine prayer life.
Mm-hmm.
I had a pretty regimented prayer life. But I realized that I was doing way too much of the talking. I realized that in my prayer life, I had habitual prayers that I would say,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't have this relationship with Christ. And
Right.
that silence in prayer every single day gave me this relationship with Christ that I didn't realize that I was missing, and I didn't realize how intoxicating it was. Mm-hmm. To fall deeper in love with our Lord.
Yeah, no, for me, it was very much the same, that I had a prayer life. It was well structured. I say these prayers in the morning, this in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I prayed with my wife every day. I thought, hey, this is what a prayer life should be. And it wasn't until I had to start doing this 20 minutes minimum,
mm-hmm.
this silent contemplative prayer as one of the disciplines for Exodus 90, that I realized, I thought, I was saying a lot of prayers, but I wasn't actually praying.
Right.
And just to have that quiet time every day,
mm-hmm.
it absolutely changed my life. It changed my spiritual life. It changed the way that I discern things, which has made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
There have been several big decisions in my life that if I didn't have that discipline of quiet where I can really listen, I don't know I don't know if those decisions would have been different. I suspect that they would, because I really discerned those decisions in those moments of quietness. You know what I mean? And so just having that relationship as Christ is now a real person in my life instead of an idea,
mm-hmm.
It has literally changed my life.
Yeah, and one of the fruits of doing Exodus 90 was I picked up an extra adoration hour. Every week, because I was exposed to this quiet. I was exposed to this relationship with our Lord, and I didn't want to give that up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, no, I need to make sure that I carry this on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I picked up an extra adoration hour every week
mm-hmm.
because of Exodus 90.
That's great. The other disciplines, people talk about the cold showers, and they really are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll get over it.
Right,
it's not going to kill you. But the whole regulating my appetite,
mm-hmm.
I just know in my own life, my sins are basically out of control appetite, when I go into confession, that's basically what I'm saying. It's like, my appetites are out of control over here and over here and over here and over here. So having that, this is what we do, this is what we eat, this is how we eat, mm-hmm. this is how much we eat, really taught me a lot. And now I still struggle with my appetites, and I probably will until the day I die, but it really did teach me a lot about how to regulate them, what is feasting and what is fasting.
Yeah.
Going through those 90 days of essentially an extended fast, man, it really taught me a lot about how to feast.
Right. One more tip. Maybe we'll give I'd like to give a tip.
Catholic pro tip?
Yeah, of Exodus 90 is when you take those cold showers, which are really, really tough, especially in the wintertime, make a specific intention each day before you get in. This is for the good of my wife. This is for protection for my children from the evil one. This is for that I may grow in whatever virtue it is before you get in. And it makes it a lot easier.
Totally. It is a game changer, right? Because then you're not just like suffering like, you know, but it's for something, you know. And it brings like joy into a cold shower, which is hard to do, I'll tell you.
Right.
Also, I found screaming to be helpful.
Just
gonna throw that out.
Another tip for you. That one's free.
Yeah.
So I have an indebtedness to Exodus 90 that I won't know the impact that it really had on my life until the other side of the veil.
Yeah.
And so I strongly encourage you men, if you have done it before, do it again with another group of men. The second time around, was actually the real fruitfulness of Exodus 90 for me. Because the first one, I was just kind of like trying to get through it.
Right.
You know, I was just like trying my best to get through it. The second time, I was able to let go and really just like be focused and intentional. So if you've done it before, I highly recommend doing it again. I'm incredibly grateful for Exodus 90. It changed my life. It changed Dave's life. It changed our families. It changed the way we live. So go to exodus90.com. Join us January 9th.